there's moments where you're gonna say, I'm done with this. You know, I don't care no more. I'm through with this whole craziness. Like, what am I doing? What am I getting myself into? But it's just a moment, you know.
Welcome back to the Coffee Chat podcast. Man, I am super excited for today. We have a great friend of ours on the show. My name is Aaron. I'm going to be your host today. And this is a Coffee Chat podcast where we have chats with local business leaders in the community. And today we have our neighbor from our restaurant in Avondale. We have, we call him Manny, but his name is Manuel Herrera. Man, welcome to the Coffee Chat podcast. How you doing today, bro?
Man, thank you for having me. It's cool. I love your ideas like always. This is an awesome thing you do for people to kind of know a little bit of each world, and that's awesome. I'm happy to be here and get it going with you.
Let's get it, man. He's the owner of El Tataki Sushi, serving Mexican and traditional Japanese sushi.
That's right.
Avondale, 107th and India School. And man, we're glad to have you as neighbors because we be grubbing there all the time.
Same with us, man. Everybody.
The food is phenomenal. If you haven't checked them out, go ahead and go visit them. He's not gonna let you down because everything's the best.
Thank you, bro.
I want to know. I have a question. What is your favorite coffee to get at Colado? Since we're neighbors, we always see you there.
Right here, white toffee. I like this since the day you recommended me because I love not too sweet, something strong and perfect, man. That's where I start my days. Sometimes I'm in a rush and I already know what to get. So I love your white toffee. All your stuff is great. Honestly, you guys have a great concept with your coffees and. I love it. So, and my team does too. You see that they're there every day, twice a day sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
They get orders every single day. We already know it.
Yeah, we're fans. Yeah, so we're fans.
We're literally like family, man. We know each other. We're always there helping each other out, and that's what I love about, Manny and his business because everybody there is always they have a great attitude and always they're willing to help. And can you share a little bit about your story and how it's like I'm curious because I don't know the story and how it came about. But, the story of, were you always wanting to start sushi? Where does sushi come from? Let us know.
Yeah, I've been around the business world my whole life. Obviously not the restaurant industry because it's one of the hardest ones in the world, right? I love traveling. I love food. I'm a fanatic of food. And I started noticing a lot of cool, crazy creations that started coming up a couple years ago. And then sushi blew up out of nowhere, right? It was one of the foods that nobody wanted because it was like, oh, nasty fish, whatever it is. And all of a sudden it just became one of the number one asked for, food. And I know in the United States for a fact it is, in Mexico as well. So as traveling and, doing all that stuff of going out to eat, trying different things, I noticed that culture was so phenomenal. It wasn't just fish no more and raw. It was cooked stuff and deep fried and, baked and all that crazy things. And I love when restaurants do that, when they fusion things up. I've always been a fan of that because it's something that you kind of recreate as a great tradition as Japanese sushi is, that people recreated it. And the idea came from there, and I guess it was just kind of like a idea that it became as an idea, and then I became a fan of it. I loved it, and I guess it just became something that I said, hey, I want to give it a shot and bring it to here, Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, no, you guys do a great job. Everything there is so delicious. It's the 3S for you that I have. It's flavorful, it's fresh, and it's family friendly.
Yeah,
that's what I can get out of every time I go to a restaurant. Like the portions are perfect. Like you get full. I've gone to other places. Pay for a sushi roll. Get like 4 sushi rolls. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like this is the appetizer. Yeah. And at your place, it's like you get a good roll and everything's super delicious. But where did the name come from? Where did you get it?
So
Tataki?
Tataki is a traditional tuna that I think anybody that's that loves sushi, especially like the raw sushi, knows what Tataki is. So since it's a fusion, we said, okay, well, we're bringing in the Mexican fusion rolls. What can we come up with? And we came up with L for the kind of like the Mexican side, and then Tataki for the traditional. So we want to have both worlds in there, and we came up with that name, and it took us probably like an 8-hour day just creating a logo piece by piece. Wow. And it became something amazing that we put all over the web, all over the social media, and it's beautiful to know that you go somewhere and people look at your logo and go, oh, that I've heard of it or I've been there, it's great. And that's what it's all about, making sure that customers are always taken care of and people are happy once they walk out your restaurant, because that's what we're here for, to please everybody and give them, you know, great food, great quality, and a great experience overall.
What's your favorite roll?
You know, I love all the sushi rolls. You know, I get asked that all the time, but I love all of them. I mean, honestly, I'm more of a traditional, like the raw. I love tuna. So we have our house roll, which is called Tataki, one of my top ones. And like I said, I love a lot of our creations there. You know, my team and I have came up with so many things that how can you not, enjoy them all. And, you know, so it's just, we always, I guess our favorite one is the next one that we create, you know?
Yeah, that mango one you guys have, that's my favorite. Man, I tell some people like mango, like you gotta try it, and it's become one of my favorites. So
Yeah.
it's a great creation. Do you mind letting us know your age? I think you're young. You know,
I'm 31 years old. I turned 31 this
crazy,
year,
man.
so
Props
I'm
to you.
31, and I started this dream and journey when I was 23 years old. So it's been a long climb, but it's been worth it for me. You know, like I said, it's a dream, and it's something that it's my passion. So kind of like, you know, you guys, I admire you guys a lot for the passion you guys bring to each location, and that's what we're about too.
That's awesome, bro. For your age, I mean, you've done so much. So, like, props to you, man. I'm proud of to know you and to be, you know, all the success that you've been through. You know, a lot of locations that you've had to change. If you want to share a little bit that in a little bit, but who was Manny before Tataki? What were you doing?
Like I said, I grew up around the business world. That kind of business world that I grew up with, it was different from the restaurant industry, which I was, you know, worked hard, always loved working hard, and wasn't a big fan of that kind of world. I was more into, like you said, I wanted more something different, something creative, something out of this world, which, you know, we came up with the whole fusion sushi, and I wanted something family, you know, something that you can go with whoever you go and enjoy it and have a great experience. Because when I go somewhere, that's what I love. I love showing up and getting treated, you know, in a great way, and just feeling comfortable where you're at and enjoying everything about it. And I think that's what brings customers back. I think that's something that that makes it what it makes, you know, your brand, because people realize, hey, I love going there for this reason.
Yeah.
And it's not just one food or you know, one thing. It's the whole plate has to be, you know, just right for people to always enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we work really hard every day and every single minute of the day just to make sure that people get that experience. And so before that, and then, you know, not to make it too long, I worked in the hospital industry. I was hospitality. I worked there for maybe 4 years. So I got to learn a lot of different things besides, you know, food. It was something that I kind of just jumped into while I was coming up with my ideas, you know, of what am I going to do? What concept do I want to do in the future? And it's great. You know, I still have a lot of nurses, doctors that I used to talk to them about my ideas, or I used to like write them down. They'd be like, what are you doing? You know, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm coming up with something. And they come now, and they it's amazing seeing them there. And it's a great feeling because they see you with so much happiness to know where you're at. You know, they look at you and like, oh my God, I remember going into a lunchroom and we were sitting there with you at the table like I am with you now.
Yeah.
And you were just always busy in your notebook, and now look at this. Like it's amazing that you didn't give up on your dream. And that's one thing that nobody should, is never give up on something that you feel passionate about. Because yeah, it's a hard road, but it's also a great thing to follow it because it's something that you like and that you want to do.
Yeah, and I'm sure we've talked late nights about what happened at the hospital, like crazy things that you've learned
everything.
about.
I learned something very different in the world, and I'm really grateful because I learned a lot of different things that, you know, a lot of people don't get to experience, especially working in a hospital. I work with great people, great mentalities, very great mentalities, doctors that, you know, even though it's a whole different industry, they gave me a push towards always, you know, their stories somehow helped me complete mine, because, you know, being a doctor is not easy, or RN, sometimes they waste, you know, their whole 20s in school and just always in debt, always, you know, struggling. But like to say, once you're on top of that mountain and you see a little bit of light and sun, you know, you start realizing it was all worth it.
Wow.
And I used to think like, you know, dang, hopefully that happens to me. And, you know, thank God it has. You know, we're getting there, you know, little by little, step by step. You can't run, you can't sprint. It's step by step.
Wow.
You know?
Man, you're preaching out here, throwing some knowledge. And I know you've been through a journey with, you know, couple locations, having to move a couple of times.
Oh,
What
yeah.
has been one of the biggest challenges that you faced in your whole business career?
Just the fact of opening the location at Westgate, which was on 95th and Glendale, that was a struggle already as it is. Being the age I was out here in Arizona, getting all the permits, landlords or people believing in you, looking at you like, I don't know if I should, rent to this guy, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think my passion and my effort and them knowing how hard I tried kind of convinced them to, you know, put me where I was at. And I thank them till this day because they believed in me. It was the hardest thing for me was once, after the 3 years there, really hard 3 years, working almost 7 days a week, 14, 15 hours a day, nonstop, was when we decided to, they asked us, are you guys going to lease out? Because they were transitioning into selling the property. What was going to happen? It was just like a big emotional box at the moment. You're like, what are we going to do? There was nothing around the area where we could just jump in and say, okay, we have everything ready.
Yeah.
So, I started looking around, and I remember going to this great coffee shop named Colalo's on 107th and Indian
Heard
School.
about it.
And there was a big location in that corner, a Blockbuster that I used to go as a kid.
Wow.
And I remember walking out of there and just took a couple of steps that way and looked in there, but it was just a big square box, right? Nothing in there. And that was a challenge, man. That was the biggest challenge of my life. I think that God put in me, in my way, just to know how much further I can go. It was really hard. Crying, you name it. And it's not a bad thing. Anybody that does it, don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel, ashamed of yourself, because it's just part of life. I mean, you have to struggle. And that was one of the biggest challenges. I know my family was behind me 100%. My mom was there every single step of the way. Always believed in my dreams. Couldn't have done it without her. Honestly, it was hard. It's really hard. And, I tell you, because it's something that there's moments where you're going to say, I'm done with this. I don't care no more. I'm through with this whole craziness. Like, what am I doing? What am I getting myself into? But it's just a moment, you take a walk, go outside, breathe some fresh air, and your senses will come back to you. And you realize, no, this is what I want. This is what I signed up for. So don't give up on yourself,
Wow.
And like I said, being passionate about something will always push you that way, because if you're not passionate about it, then yeah, you might just quit. But you got to make sure you always pick what you love to do. And that's something that has been in my head since I was 21 years old. And it's something that I stuck with because it's something that I love doing till this day.
Wow.
I mean, it's a passion for me. Going in there, walking in there, it's just a great vibe. I love my team. My team's a big part of where I am now. They're amazing. And, I couldn't do it without them. They're amazing team, and I couldn't ask for better. So
That's awesome, man. I can tell the passion. Just watching you, always there, constantly.
Yeah.
Just getting excited. Sometimes I see you behind the bar making sushis, and I'm like, this guy. You can tell you love what you do, and that's
I love it.
That's inspiring, man. It's crazy to see. I know firsthand. Seeing you sometimes having those hard days, and sometimes having that therapy where we just let it out, and find a way
Exactly.
to keep it going. And that's how it is. You fall, and I like how you said that. Part of struggling, it's part of what we do, but it's great to see you come a long way and still growing. So, and just having a great conversation just outside of this podcast about how hard it is to run a business. And if you're trying to start a business at this moment, we encourage you to just listen to Manny's story. He's struggled through some hiccups in his life with locations, trying to find the right place, even getting to the point where getting kicked out of his building. But I think things happen for a reason.
They do. They do.
There's purpose and pain, there's purpose and struggle, and it only makes us better. How has family helped you out in process like this?
In the matter of like opening up and stuff like that, or I mean, like I said, like I was telling you earlier, just someone like like my mom that believed in every dream I had, helping me whatever she could. That's a big step already. My brother, he's part of our team. Just they're always there. My family's always there. When we need help, or I need help, or the team needs help, they show up and help me in every possible way they can. We stay together. That's I know a lot of places say, oh, bringing in family is not a great thing, and it isn't most of the time. A lot of times, but if you know how to control it and make it work, you can. Everything's possible, you know. But if you get in your brain and your head from day one that it's not going to work out, there's always going to be an issue. And it's just better to be in peace and make things work out somehow the right way, because there's no point of making it worse than it already is. I mean, if you need help for something, it's because you're already, you know, struggling a little bit in a certain area. So you bring someone in to help you, or they come and help you, you make the best out of it. You know, you're not going to sit there and try to find every little detail to make it, you know, a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, even though sometimes you were having a bad day, you have to put that smile on.
That's good. Yeah, optimism is so important,
Yeah.
especially working with family. You know, there's always going to be one thing that bothers you that you're like, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like how you said you always have to look at the bright side.
Yeah,
and,
you have
and
something.
it's better. Sometimes it is better to work with family. Sometimes you do have those bad days, but I like how your mom and your brothers have all, you know, I've seen them there. So it's great to see that. What's the process that you go through adding a new sushi roll on the menu? You know, what goes through your mind?
You know, it's my sushi chefs. My team is, like I said, they're amazing guys. They know their stuff. We'll sit down sometimes, or a lot of them already have their own ideas. You know, they made it before for a customer or for themselves, and we'll kind of just create it little by little, and just kind of say, okay, you know, we want this kind of flavor. Is it certain flavor? Is it a sweet? Is it spicy? You know, when we go from there, it's kind of like, you know, how some of the mango rolls came up for idea. You know, the same thing. It's just we sit down as a team and we do everything as a team, because I like everybody being involved, because, you know, it's like I said, we're all, you know, we're where we're at because of you know, we've always stuck together as a team.
Yeah.
And I love everybody being part of it, because it shows, you know, that a little bit of piece of them is there as well. You know, it's going to that customer at that table, or, you know, they get a great comment of it about that role, and it feels great because, you know, you were part of it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole mentality we always had with Tataki, is always sticking together as a team, and always, you know, coming up with ideas as a team, because it's just success is always going to be there that way.
Yeah, I like how you involve your employees.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
have them participate, because that's, at the end of the day, they're the ones that are in front of the people, and they
Yep.
know what's good, what's selling, what's not. So we get a lot of good ideas from people that
We
are,
do, yeah.
you know, like our Nutella drink was from somebody who was like, can you guys do a blended Nutella helado? And I was like, hold up, I'll be right back. And I like started throwing stuff in there, and like now it's like a really popular drink that we have. So it's cool to see as you go, people start seeing like, how can we put these two together? For you, what was one of the biggest lessons you've learned? Is it already 6-7 years? We opened. We just found out we
Yeah.
opened about like the same time.
Same year. 2014 is a big
Yeah.
year that I know Colados is 2014. We were as well in 2014, a little bit later on in the year, but so yeah, I mean it's been 6 years.
Yeah,
6
that's
years.
crazy. What's the biggest lesson you say you've learned from all this?
You know, the biggest lesson, I guess, is you know, knowing, first of all, knowing that to build something, you got to know what you want. You know, you got to know what direction you're heading. It's never going to be a straight road. That's for sure. You know, you're always going to have those curves, those bumps, but you still know that you're going forward, right? You're never going to go too much to the left or reverse backwards, because you got to stick with something that you have. And, you know, talking about getting ideas, don't be hard-headed. Don't stick to just, this is how I want it, and that's how it's going to be. No, it's always great to hear ideas from people, because you just never know
Yeah,
what's out there. And like you said right now, you know, about the Nutella helado. I mean, it's just things that a lot of, you know, old school people don't tend to care no more. And we're not there no more. You know, it's a new generation. And I'll be honest with you, there's so many ideas out there now, and it's great to hear them out. Don't ever stick yourself in a little box and stay there, because someone else will come and surpass you, because they're going to listen to different ideas. And, you know, just because it's not always coming from you as an owner, or, you know, as you being in charge of the place, doesn't mean it won't be in how do you, I want to put it, it doesn't mean it's not going to be, you know, successful. It's going to be, you know, you got to let things come to you little by little. And it might not be the whole piece, but you're going to put a piece from here, a piece from there together, and before you know it, you come up with a great creation.
Yeah.
So it's always good. I always tell people, listen to what's out there. You know, listen to what people say, and, you know, that's how music's created, right? Artists don't come up with just sitting in they hear things, they hear experiences in life, people's stories, all that, and they come up with their own version of it, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a way of moving forward and having, you know,
not staying the same.
Exactly.
And not just the
You
same
can't do that no
thing.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a great phrase that I heard is innovate until it hurts.
Exactly.
And that my dad heard it and he told me. And every time we're like, we need to fix this. You know, we need to change this. How can we improve this? And we're like, we already did. Like, no, until it hurts. It's like, what can we do better until it's the best?
Yeah.
And that's how we have to see it. If not, like, innovate or die. Like, literally, you're going to say, like you said, people are going to surpass you if you continue to just stick with the same ideas and concepts. Like, we literally have to, the world is changing. We got to change with it. We got to move forward. If not, we're just going to be forgotten.
And your dad told me the same thing. And I said, I love that phrase. And he's right. And then something me and him talk about a lot of times is you have to keep moving with it. You know, you can't stay behind because it won't stop for you. It'll just keep moving right past you, you know. And there's a lot of things that, you know, I love quotes. I love hearing them. I love reading quotes here and there because they inspire me. Yeah. Honestly, they do. And sometimes they help you push more, honestly, you know, and that's part of listening. See, it's part of getting out of your box and listening to other people what have to say. Yeah. It might not always be the best advice, but you can take that little piece of the pie of the best advice you can get from it, you know?
Yeah, awesome, man. I know there's rumors of opening a second location. What can you share about that?
Yeah, there is. There's a rumor. We've been planning it for a while now. Obviously, with everything that happened in the last couple months, you know, it was a pause. But, you know, it was just a pause. So it was not going backwards. We didn't back out of it.
We're pushing play now, right?
Yeah, we're pushing play now. You know, like I said, you know, you never want to go backwards. You always, I mean, if you have to stop for a bit, you stop, you know, especially on the situations like we had to go through. Fortunately, not a lot of people, you know, had the advantage or the luckiness, I guess we can say, that a lot of us got as business owners. You know, we have a great customer base and they helped us keep moving forward. Honestly, I know a lot of colleagues that unfortunately didn't have the same thing, but you know, we love our customers. We love everybody that supported us, and family, friends, you guys, colados, and everybody that was always there. And that's what we're here for. You know, we're here to help each other out and push each other forward. Never, you know, hold someone back. You know, always have a helping hand because you never know when you're gonna need it.
Wow, so good, man. I love the mindset. Lastly, for the question I have for you, what is your advice for someone who wants to open up a business? For somebody who's listening right now and they're like, I don't know if I should go with this, what can you tell them?
First of all, whatever you pick, be passionate about it. Passion and something that you love to do is always going to push you beyond your breaking point because it's something that you love to do. It's not going to be easy. Never has been. If you hear that, then it's a lie because it's never. That's the toughest road you can take is beginning a new journey in your life, especially with business. It's something that it doesn't come easy, and no one's gonna give it to you in your hands. You gotta go look for it. You gotta fight it. You gotta keep pushing forward. Like you said, you gotta just find a way to always find that passion and move forward more and more. And that's what I did. It's not easy. You know, it's always great to have a business plan. Maybe, you know, not the best one in the world. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars for someone to give you a business plan, right? But kind of just have an idea of what you want. You know, what is your vision? What is it that you want to have in the next 3 years, or, you know, whatever it is that your plan is. But it's always good to have the vision, the passion, and make sure you're ready to, you know, go full blast on hard working, because there's going to be days where you're going to get home and crash out in that couch the first couch you see in your room, and that's it. You know, you're gone. And, you know, but don't give up on your dream. You know, don't give up on something that you want to do. You know, always push forward, find a way to, you know, I always tell people, if you ask too many questions to different people, and if you should or shouldn't open, I don't think it's the correct thing to do. Maybe you should ask, what did you do? How did you start? What was your idea? What was your vision? Because that's what I did. You get ideas as in how they looked at things, how maybe they looked at a location they wanted, or an idea or a menu. You know, everything counts in this world. And especially in the business world, you have to have a little bit of everything in your plate. But I never liked asking, should I? You think I should? You think I can do it? No, because only you know that. And no one can tell you, yes, you can, or no, you can't.
Wow.
Only you can. So my recommendation is, don't ask people if you should or shouldn't. Is just go for it. If that's your passion, that's your dream.
That's good.
But just know you're going to cry, you're going to sweat, You're gonna scream. You're gonna, you know,
everything.
throw up from all the stress. You name it. But at the end of the day, when you love what you do, you're gonna get through all that. It's worth it.
For sure.
It's worth it 100%. And I tell you, as you know, years of experience and you know me going through every single thing. And I think for me, it wasn't just once or twice. It was, you know, 3 times. But like you said, Aaron, God puts things in your way because He wants to push you harder. And when something comes in your way, don't look at it as a negative thing or as a why is it happening to me. Look at it as a, you know what, this is another obstacle for me to go over. I've done it before. I can do it again.
That's
so
good.
just push forward.
I love it. I'm never gonna forget the one time you told me that never let anybody get in front of your dreams.
No, never let nobody get in front of your dreams.
I love that. And I've seen you hustle. I've seen you work hard, man. And I'm so happy to have you guys as neighbors.
Yeah, we are.
We can smell the sushi from Colados. So, and we're happy to have you as friends, man.
Yeah,
it's great.
likewise.
And thank you so much for your time, for being here, for dropping your knowledge. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are going to benefit from your story.
I hope so.
And I wish you the best, man. We're cheering for you. We're for you. And we can't wait for that second location to open soon.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to, you know, speak out and have people that might want some advice. And I think it is a great thing you're doing. And like, you know, like I said, likewise, think, you know, we're happy to have you guys as friends. You and your family are amazing people to us. And, you know, till this day, I still ask advice from all you guys. And we still, you know, give each other, you know, tips here and there because that's what it's about.
Yes.
It's about pushing each other forward, like I said, and following our dreams. And like, you know, like I told Aaron, don't let nobody get in front of your dreams. You push forward as much as you can, and only you know how far you can go.
That's
and,
good.
Hey, sky's the limit. So
yes, sir. What are you guys' hours for anybody who's maybe craving a Tataki right now from all this talk? What already said where we can find you, but what are you guys' hours?
So Sunday through Thursday, it's from 11 to 10 p.m. And Friday and Saturday, it's from 11 to 11. We're open 7 days a week. Except for holidays. You know, you can always go on our website at eltakisushi.com and you'll see, you know, what days we're closed, what if we, you know, we're doing any, you know, early closing or anything. But, you know, for the most part, we're usually 98% on, you know, there. So
yeah, no, and they get busy. It's bomb, so that's the place to go. So get prepared, but it's so worth it. It's always worth it. Man, well, thank you so much, Manny, for being on the show. We appreciate you, having you, and thank you everybody who's watching. I invite you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share this with somebody that you know has a business or is thinking of starting a business. That's going to help. And also if you haven't. So thank you guys so much for being on the show. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Hasta la vista.
bye.